Thank you very much for joining me today, sir. It's a great privilege to have you here, sir. Sir, I'm curious to understand if the foundation of your legal career was somewhere in your childhood.
So by the time I turned out at 23 years of age, I completed my BCom honors, LL.B, and company secretary CS. So it is difficult to say whether it struck me childhood or not, because I'm sure if I completed BCom at the age of 19 and a half, definitely I was not a child. I was quite a grown-up person. But so in the childhood, maybe some element I can think of. I was a bit argumentative. So maybe that laid the foundation of some kind of legal career.
So, what made you to think about the legal career with the company secretary and chartered accountant? Is it a good combination, what you thought at the time, or you were really inclined towards law?
You see, when you were 19 and a half, you really did not think of too much. You just go by what is the current trend in the market. Whole purpose is that once I complete my studies, I should be able to start a job. And those days, it was always job oriented. It was not, I will become a unicorn, I will have my own startup. It was not like that. So, therefore, you complete your studies, first round of studies, then you go for a job and then see where it takes you to. Point number two, in that job also, there is no point in going in for a job without any professional qualification. So you got to have, and if you are coming from commerce background, namely BCom honors, you will think of accountancy, you will think of law, you will think of company secretaryship, or even cost accountancy. So these were the four options that were left to us. I, at the beginning, tried a little bit for chartered accountancy because it was a craze at that time, and it would be the craze always. But then later on, one of my friends told me that you go for CS, which has come recently in the market, and the future could be good. So why can't you go for that? And then simultaneously go for law also. Then the first round of your qualifications will be over. You are a commerce graduate, you are law graduate LL.B, plus you are a company secretary CS from the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, which is a statutory body. So this is how I went. Oh, a lot of thoughts were given. No, not really. It is not possible at the age of 19, 20, and that too. It is not today's situation. I am talking about a long time back. So naturally, you would not think too much. All you would see that, can I get a job out of this profession? And when I ensured, yes, CS LLB will give me a good professional qualification, then I went for it. Actually, I'm very grateful to my parents, like all of you. And I'm particularly grateful to my father. I think he had a principle in life. He said that, Abhijit, never start from the bottom. I can afford to maintain you for a couple of more years. So you need not have to go for job immediately. But if you are going in for job, start from somewhere. And for starting for somewhere, you require really a professional qualifications. So he allowed me to continue till I was 23 and then acquired all the three qualifications. Then never I looked back. I started my company secretaryship career, but this is another history that at some point of time, my sixth sense told me CS to start as a profession is okay, but ultimately it is law. Everybody is interested in law, corporate law, or any other law. So go for legal profession rather than sticking to some kind of CS profession. So later on, I graduated myself, started with CS, but as we went along, I found that law is something, it has got universal application. If you join in a big company, then you are segmenting yourself. If you say, oh, I am only a CS, but if you say I am a lawyer also, apart from CS, then you will have greater respect, greater acceptability. That is what I did it. So when I started, 100% was my CS role, 0% legal role. So that I started improving. And today, if you ask me, CS role is very, very minimum. It's all legal role. Of course, with the advancement of age and progress in career, today I am more in the strategic role, contributing, running of a 17, $18 billion group, sitting on the boards of many companies. So that role graduated, but somewhere you have to start and slowly, slowly you have to take it forward. This is what I tried to do in my life.
That's incredible legal journey you have, sir, and you put it so humbly. May I try and understand, initially in the legal practice, did you go for the private practice or you started off with a job in a corporate?
I always had the job at the corporate. I never did any private practice, but there was no specific reason. And again, 40 years back, private practice was not that lucrative. The law firms in India, they were not that reputed in any way. Today, the situation is completely different. So, like anybody else, I went in for a regular, role in the corporate sector and started my career as a secretarial executive in a British multinational company called Gestetner India. That is how I started.
And then thereafter, you carried on with same or similar sort of kind of industry groups, or you were like into a big conglomerate like Hinduja, perhaps?
You know, that's an interesting question. It is incorrect for me to say I shaped up my own career. Shaping in our career or everything being done by the Almighty, not by even me. We all know that very well. But you should have some kind of intuition. And I think I'm very fortunate because of my parents, and later on, I always remember there is some force on the above which will show you the guidance and the path and the destination to travel. So, therefore, I think when I started, my thought process were different. But as I go along, slowly, slowly, I started thinking differently. One is that at the time I was in India, naturally, one thought process came to my mind: try to work in many industries, because don't identify yourself, oh, you know only automobile industry, you know only drug industry, you know only machine tool industry. No, work in as many industries as possible. Now, because the laws are different, approaches are all different, so it will really help you in the future. I have worked while I was in India not less than 25 to 30 different varieties of industries. So therefore, I had fairly good idea. I'll give you some example. Like Gestetner is predominantly a photocopying machine and duplicating machine kind of company. It's a brand those days. So therefore, you learned a lot about those areas. Then from there, I moved on to HMT. Now, in Gestetner, I was working in Calcutta as well as in Delhi, but HMT was those days far away in Bangalore, quite far away from my house in Calcutta. But as I say that my parents were kind enough, they said, you go and build up your career. Don't look after us here, we will manage. So therefore, I had the advantage of going to Bangalore, those days quite a far-flung place. It is not like us now. So I worked there for 8 years. And HMT, Hindustan Machine Tool, it was a prized Government of India organization, but it was running like a private sector. It had all kinds of industries: machine tool, tractors, lamp, dairy machinery, forging, then international trade, watches. HMT watches were famous. So you can think of anything, everything. The company had 20 factories all over the country. I used to go around the factories, learn tons and tons how the industries look like, because all are different. Watch has got nothing to do with machine tools. Machine tool has got nothing to do with manufacture of lamps, bulbs. It has got nothing to do in manufacturing tractors. Completely different kettle of fish. So you learned a lot. Then from HMT, one day I said, enough is enough. Let me join Indian Aluminium. Indian Aluminium is the subsidiary of a Canadian multinational company called Alcan. Now, Indian Aluminium produces alumina, aluminium, and then mining, they did it. So it's another kettle of fish, completely different, nothing to do with machine tools. And Indian Aluminium, or it was called at the time Indal, it was the subsidiary of Alcan. Alcan is the largest producer of aluminium in the world. It is a 35-40 billion dollar company. And I was trained in their global headquarters in Montreal in Canada. So therefore, when I returned to India, by that time I could be, you know, maybe 30, 34, 35. So then by that time I had the experience in working in Gestator India, in Calcutta and Delhi, in Bangalore, Hindustan Machine Tools or HMT, then in Calcutta again, Indian Aluminium or Indal. You know, it's quite a journey, because at a young age, when you were hitting 33, 34, you already worked in 3, 4 companies, and you already worked in different businesses. So by that time, I was quite matured. I was trying to figure out what else. So from Indal, one day I got an opportunity in working in Dunlop India Limited, the tire manufacturers. And I was asked by the CEO of Dunlop even, and the CEO of Indal, why are you leaving us and joining in another company? I said that, look, Indal is a very wealthy company because it has got a lot of cash, whereas Dunlop is really not a very wealthy company. So, the challenges are all different. In Indal, you are having fixed depositors knocking at your door, tell you, can I deposit money here? In Dunlop, the depositors are knocking at your door and telling, can I take away my money from here? Can I withdraw my money? So your approach towards getting money or refunding money, whether you are in the legal or any other field, will be different. And that is possible if you start working in different companies. So I worked in Dunlop. Then later on, I got an opportunity in working in Suzuki, Maruti Suzuki. Okay, that the car manufacturer, we all know about it. So I worked there as the chief general manager, general counsel, and company secretary. I I was not turned 40 before done that. I could be 38, 39. So at that point of time, they created a position for me. They gave me a blank check in terms of money, and they asked me to join. So I joined in Delhi in Maruti Suzuki. But that was a very interesting sting, and I learned a lot, because at that time there was a epic fight started between the two shareholders. One is the government of India, a sovereign government, and the other one is Suzuki, which is a 35-40 billion dollar company. And I was in the middle of those conflicts. So you can imagine two parents are fighting. And as a hapless child, I got involved into it. But it was the most exciting time in my life. The fight ended because of political reason. because government is always government. And then once the fight was over, then I got an offer from Ranbaxy Laboratories, which is at that time the largest drug manufacturers in India. So I joined there and I continued for some time till Hinduja Group, they located me, they called me, and that is how I landed. So in brief, this is my journey.
What an incredible journey, sir. And I think I have a question, but I think maybe I want to make a statement a little bit. I think you had multiple different industry sectors from metal, mining, perhaps attaching to aluminum, if I may so, and then automobile, then pharmaceutical. So the motivation behind Hinduja, would that be like all the variety of experiences you had and you were kind of like ready to take the big journey in your life? Is that what it was?
You are very right, By the time I came to Ranbaxy, then one fine morning, literally, I was approached by Hinduja Group, and I told them that uh, if I get an opportunity in abroad, because I know it is a multinational group, it has got its global headquarters in abroad. So that will be very interesting because in India, I have done whatever humanly is possible. There is nothing more I could do. So then they were kind enough to give me an opportunity in London. London is our headquarters. But I can tell you, with all those tons of experiences, at the beginning, it was quite a challenge for me because it is a formidable group. 200,000, meaning 2 lakhs, are the employees. It operates in 45, 50 countries. Here, all nationalities of the world you will find here in our group. And above all, and that is the beauty of it, it has got 13 business verticals. Like, we have got automotive division, we have got, uh, forgings, we run banks, we not only in India, but we run banks in abroad also, including Europe as well as in the Middle East. Then we are in chemicals. We produce industrial explosives for blasting mines and everything. Then in London, we have opened our first 7-star huge hotel. We invested $1.5 billion in the hotel. Then we developed 85 very high-ended residences. The topmost resident costing you 100 million pounds or $125 million, just one piece of residence. It may be for you, but it is certainly not for me. Okay. Yes, I visit whenever I feel depressed, I go there and visit you know, the penthouse of 100 million pound, and then I feel motivated, although it may not belong to me. No, jokes apart. Then we are in outsourcing, um, and we are in Gulf Oil, which produces industrial car lubricant. So as you can see, that it's a 13 business verticals means 26, 27 varieties of businesses. So it's a broad spectrum. And I don't think anybody would survive here beyond a month unless and until you have got the backup knowledge of different industries. So I thank to God that it is good that you worked in different industries. And those days, even my friends used to tease me, Abhijit, are you still there in Maruti? Oh, you have left. Oh, you are still there. That's quite a history. 2 years are over. Now you find out another one. So whenever I meet them later on, I always say, look, God has given me this opportunity. Now I am reaping the benefit of this. So, yes, I'm very fortunate to get this opportunity. It's an incredible group that I am. I'm a rank outsider. I don't belong to the family, but my reporting is directly to the Hinduja family. And it's a completely professionally managed group with there are around 100 companies, And all the companies have got their independent board of directors. I myself sit on the board of many companies. So it's really wonderful. Not only London is a great city, but if you work in a global group, multinational group, so many businesses with the you know flexibility, empowerment to decide of your own. So today, from being a CS, then converted into legal, today I have become a corporate strategist. Yes, of course, these are the core areas will remain. But then more and more I am involved in taking decisions, making strategies, rather than, just do some legal work, which we don't do it. I am involved in the decision making process. Let's put it bluntly like this.
Absolutely, sir. So, sir, if I were to ask you, what are the key constituents or requisites of a successful legal in house division or a team such as your team?
My first mantra will be that acquire legal qualifications, but don't act like a lawyer. Then you are gone. You see, I always tell at different meetings, including my own department and all, that have something invisible in front of you, that if the business survives, we all survive. If there is no business, nobody will retain me as the President and General Counsel. I am retained because there are businesses, but it is not enough that businesses are there. You should be able to contribute so that they grow. That's actually very, very important, because if the businesses don't grow, they don't need me actually. So businesses should grow. You will do hand holding. Take the advantage of law to your benefit, not to your detriment. Just to say this is not possible and that is not possible, don't do that. But nobody will be asking you in such a large group, do something, under the table and all. Nobody will ask you. And law constraints are there, but if you are clever, if you know the subject, if you have got the knowledge, you will be able to work within the parameter of law. So this is my first mantra: acquire legal qualification, but don't act like a lawyer. Second thing, as you could see, when I started, world was different, laws were different, knowledge was different. Today, it's completely different. But if you ask me, are you completely updated? I said, yes, I am. If you talk about something that give me your legal perspective on artificial intelligence, yes, I will be able to. Have spoken in many conferences on AI. So I've written articles on AI, published in different magazines around the world. So therefore, quite updated. And there is a mantra in getting yourself updated. You mix with people who knows better than you. Always mix with people who know like you, who know a little bit lesser than you. But your aim will be meet somebody who knows better than you, because the moment you are talking to him, you will continue to learn. No bookish knowledge is needed. So every single day in my London headquarters, people, namely the lawyers from around the world, every single day during lunchtime, they will come. Today they have not come because I have given time to you. So they come, they have all become friends. We talk with each other. They tell us what are the developments. I tell them what are the developments. So you gain knowledge. So my second or third mantra will be that become updated, keep yourself updated all the time, always. Don't say, oh, in our time, this was the law, in our time, that was the law. Nobody is interested. What was the law in India 30 years back, especially in a global scenario? Fourth is, you have to develop your people, because if you think you will do everything, it's not possible, you will collapse. So therefore, develop your people. And I always say, most of the people, they don't want to do it because they think always wrongly, then my holder control will go. It is a challenge. If I teach you whatever little I know, that will motivate me to add up more in my capacity. So I will make sure you are always one step behind me. And that's a challenge. So you could keep, developing your own knowledge simultaneously, uh, in and out, distribute it with your youngsters, become selective mentors, and tell them what is the best way to prosper in life. You will not lose anything. And the more you do mentorship, the more your mind will be clear. And fifth is also very interesting. In India, I was involved in Chamber of Commerce. I used to go to the even select committee of parliament, used to, talk about the new laws and all. Then I came here, and after I came here, I acquired my legal qualifications, law. Then I acquired my charter secretaryship. And mind that when I came here, I was not 20s. I was in 40s. But I came here, acquired the qualifications, and once I did it, I've got one daughter. She's the only child. She is also a qualified English solicitor in London. So therefore, I had to look after my family, then my wife. And then when I completed all these things, then I thought, I'm in the global headquarters in London. Why can't I get involved into international organizations? And they cut the story short. Then I became the global vice chairman of International Chamber of Commerce Commission of Arbitration. I became a steering committee member. After that, I joined International Bar Association. They have got a General Counsels Forum. I am an office bearer in that. I became the advisory board member of Queen Mary University of London. It is the sixth best legal university in the world. So I am in their advisory committee, shaping up the law course, LLM and PhD. Then here we have got CII, Confederation of Indian Industry. I'm in their management committee. And I keep traveling around the world. I speak a lot. Every year I will be speaking in at least 12 to 15 conferences in different parts of the world. I write articles, give many interviews, do podcasts. Now, if you ask me what you are gaining out of that, because I don't get any money out of that, I don't take any money because I'm already employed with the group. It brings a couple of advantages. A, you get to know people. So today, if you tell me, do you have anybody known in Colombia, in South America? I'll say, yes, I know people. So you get to know scores of people in all over the world. That is a great pleasure. Second thing is that your knowledge will increase. Third thing, I don't talk only about law in those conferences, all kinds of topics you can think of: ESG, corporate governance, sustainability, then geopolitics, global scenario. In 2022, in Miami, in the United States, I was invited by the Oxford University. There was a conference to talk about geopolitics, sanctions, etc. Nothing to do with law. And the Ukraine war just started. And in our panel, we had the Nobel laureate who won the Nobel Peace Prize from Ukraine. And I was quoting our Prime Minister Narendra Modi that today is not the era of war. Why can't you sort it out? And I was looking into the audience. I thought somebody will come and hit me because the Ukraine war just started. And there was a question from the audience, but India is taking, somewhere in the middle. They are not taking any side. So that kind of questions also I had to answer. So when you do all these things, and this is the question everybody asks: how do you manage? And I always quote: there was a tagline with HMT's watches: if you have got the inclination, we have the time. So if you have got the interest, you have the time. Today, I am in the think tank of International Chamber of Commerce in Paris. So therefore, you can do a lot of job. I've got a very high pressure job, as you can imagine, but it is all right because It will give you knowledge, ideas, it will make you relevant. Otherwise, I would have become fossil or dinosaurs a long time back.
But I think your updating element, I really that's a great takeaway. Actually, personally for me, I think it's really important. So maybe I can check your kind of like updating on AI, perhaps, if you don't mind just sharing your what kind of things you think is affecting, let's say, legal department or the industry sector you are in terms of the AI. And I think there is always a threat perspective coming up. The jobs are going to be at stake and etc. So maybe a broader comment from you.
Broader comment will be you got to be different. You see, in our profession, you should have the capability of resolving a problem. You see, AI won't be able to solve your problem. It can produce one agreement in 5 minutes. That's okay. But the moment human input is needed, it won't be give you the strategical input. It can give you options, but then you have to finally choose which option I am going to take, basically. So you got to be different. You got to have the USP. USP is only knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. You know better than others. And then that knowledge, you should be able to implement it, use it. Otherwise, this knowledge has got no meaning, basically. And this is the experience I am having every single second, every single day, that you should have the knowledge. That knowledge, you should be able to use it. I always encourage people. I mentor a large number of people in different parts of the world, including India. Scores of people come and ask me to be their mentor. And I always say one thing, that, in terms of knowledge, your ultimate objective will be you yourself become your own brand. When I think of X, I will think of something. You need not have to tell me he worked in this company, that company, he is this, he is that. For example, Fali Nariman. For example, Nani Palkiwala. For example, uh, even, Abhishek Manu Singhvi. I'm only talking not the political part of it, but their knowledge and all. They have all become quite a brand, basically. So therefore, if you strive to work together, creating your own brand, and if you ask me, we all know how a good brand looks like: sustainability, durability, uh, then obviously, reliability. All these things, when I think of any brand, automatically these things come to my mind. So similarly, why not use it for yourself? You yourself, try to become a brand so that people know, okay, when I'm thinking of Fali Nariman, I'm thinking of something else. It doesn't matter whether he was BLLB or a PhD or anything like that. Fali is Fali, although he is no more. But he was only one of its kind. That is what I call branding. So that will be your ultimate objective, ultimate goal, and you can achieve that. But for that, you have to keep it up throughout your professional life, because in branding, I can't say today I'm extremely motivated, I will work 20 hours a day, I will do everything, and tomorrow I don't feel like doing anything, so I will sleep. Nay, then it is not a brand. Then you become quite irrational, and nobody likes irrationality in a brand. If I tell you today, Bata shoes, which is a brand, this pair will be good, but next pair I'm not sure. It may be bad also. You will say, no, this is not a reliable brand. So reliability is very important factor in brand making, but try to, wherever you are, whichever field you are, whatever you do in life, try to become a brand by yourself. You develop your own criteria for branding. Don't ask somebody else to help you. This is my new mantras.
They are very good. I think branding and consistency, I think you quite rightly said, and reliability factor, definitely. I think it really is important to maintain and carry on. Sir, on the AI side, in more specific terms, do you think that the legal departments would have to kind of somehow maybe transition into something in next 5 to 10 years? Is that something what you see?
My view is that I am a part of a commercial setup. Cost benefit are extremely important. I'm only talking about legal. I'm not talking about manufacturing. If you ask me, Abhijit, you decide, I'll give you money. Can you adopt AI and throw away all the people? Now I have to see the cost benefit. Cost is 100, benefit is 70. I'm not going to do it. That is point number one. Point number two, at the end, I always believe that you cannot substitute human brains, human professionalism, human way of thinking, independent thinking. You can't. Okay. But number three, but there are areas where you can use AI. When you are doing a due diligence, we acquire companies all over the world. Now you are asking me to study 5,000 agreements. It's not possible. Or you are asking me to study documents running into pages after pages. Say, for example, I am in the midst of a huge litigation in London and the discovery process is going on. I have discovered 50,000 email and 1 million files. And I have to do the e-discovery. How on earth is it possible for me to do? So my lawyer said, don't worry, we have got paralegals sitting in South Africa. They will do it. Now that could be one option, but even they will also introduce their own AI for doing their regular job. So this kind of work, AI is fantastic as of now. So I always say that don't be worried about your employment, job, or whatever, but adapt yourself to the current situation. And if you are different than others, the normal routine guys come in the morning, go in the evening, they may not survive, unfortunately. But those who have got vision, strategy, they will survive with the help of AI, rather, they will prosper. But if I am a clerk coming here and typing, those like today, you don't find any typist anywhere. Nobody can take any dictation because those days are gone. You have mobile, you have got laptop, you have got hard desk. You do whatever you want. Who cares who is typing? And that kind of class consciousness also has gone. Now I have my own secretary, but she does other jobs, not typing. Most of the typing I am doing. Most of the typing, my departmental people, while they are producing their work, they do the typing also. So job is changing. So if you really stay alive and align with your job, you survive. Otherwise, there will be a problem. So every time you keep thinking that, what I am supposed to do in a new environment. And again, very honestly, I'm telling you, I should have become a dinosaur and old fools at this point of time.
Thank you for sharing that, sir. May I ask what would be the three key or major highlights of your career?
One is obviously coming to London, working in a magnificent global group called Hinduja Group. That is one. Its side dish will be I came to London, visited many countries while I was in India. That's one thing. But coming here with no reference, nothing else, and established yourself, not only yourself, family also should be established. It's really, really a Herculean task. When you are coming at the age of 40s, I mean, it is really a Herculean task because acceptability in international organization is not so easy. So you have to break the barrier. As you could see, I always insist wherever I speak, please pronounce my name properly. Abhijit Mukhopadhyay no shortcut. And always the conference chairman laughs and say, Abhijit, can we practice? I said, yes, of course. Mukhopadhyay. It's not a rocket science. I have not changed my accent. It is my typical Bengali accent, but I am very happy with that. I will be accepted not because of some British accent or my Abhijit will become Abby. No, not for that. I should be remembered because this guy knows something. He's a knowledgeable fellow. He's a practical fellow. So I should be, respected for that. And now, to be very honest with you, we are getting much more respect what we never saw in our life earlier because of the current condition in India. Because of political differences may be there, but at the end of the day, I tell you, I am sitting in the heart of Europe. I think the respect for India and Indians are ever increasing because of many, many factors. The other day I was thinking the American vice president wife is from Andhra Pradesh. She is a Telugu. Now Tulsi Gabbard comes. She is also, religion wise, majority religion of India. Then FBI director comes, and while FBI director Kash Patel, he's a Gujarati, he was taking oath in the US Congress. He greeted his parents, Jai Shri Krishna. So these things I never imagined it would really happen in my life, basically. So coming to London is a big thing. Then remain a bit successful in the international venture, another big thing. Then, be comfortable with the job, such a global group, and that too in the global headquarters. That itself, great, great challenge. Then obviously, not only you develop yourself, you make sure your family also develops. Because at the end of the day, I'm very clear. Unless and until you have got a supporting family, you are nowhere. He may be the best, but it is not possible. I know, there are many ladies who do not want to travel much, who say that, no, 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 why London? My parents are here. No, no, if you want to go, you go. I'm not going. Then your life is gone. And I have got not only a supporting wife and a supporting daughter, it is more than that. So after my parents, they are the people who have supported me, who are supporting me throughout my life. So therefore, you have to establish them so that they support you at a subsequent stage. So these are the things, obviously, I think is very important.
Thank you very much, sir. May I try and explore more a little bit about your, because you were saying about your age in the conversation. So is there anything you do to keep up with like the healthy regime you have or practice or well-being practice you have?
Always. The first and foremost thing is that, you remain childish throughout your life. It's very important, actually. There should be a non-descriptive event or things which will really enthuse you, which brings back to your childhood days. And I'm giving a very funny example. Every day while coming to the office, there is a square where the builders of different buildings, that was their lunchtime or that is their lunchtime. So they will be taking, bread and sandwiches and all that. And since they are taking sandwiches, you will find pigeons in front of them all the time. They pick up, those, spoils from the sandwiches. And every day, even at my age, I will chase some pigeons. So the builders laugh. I also have a hefty laugh. So this is nothing, but never it comes to my mind. it does not fit with my age and all. So if you remain childish, then it is a great gift of God. That is point number one. Point number two, you should be very careful about your diet, no doubt about it. I do regular my own physical exercises. No, obviously I can't go to gym. I don't want to go to gym, but my regular physical exercise. And then obviously, remain a good man, good human being. Uh, this is the mantra I have taught my daughter. Remain a good human being. It encompasses everything. It is not spiritual or anything like that. This is the ultimate of everything. If you think I want to remain a good human being, you will never try to hurt me. You will never try to, put me into difficulty. You will never try to cheat me. These are the fundamentals of our life. So if your objective is that, look, and I put it in that way, look, you and me, trust me, I'm sure you will agree with me, we are one of those 5% in this world, privileged people. You may not have billions, I also may not have billions, but the kind of life that we are having, please tell me, 98% of the people in this life, in this world, they are struggling. 1 billion people don't have the clean drinking water, and we are throwing away our bottles. So, what kind of life? We are privy to interview in a Zoom, laptop. We have got some profession to go ahead. I've got my jobs. So, the moment you think from that perspective, then your ahankar, then your arrogance, it will go. That you are in the midst of 3, 4, 5% people. Number one. Number two, when something does not come to me, I always say, oh, I should have got this lottery. I should have been there. I should have gone to US. Why he is going? Why not me? But when God gives you blessings and things come along with the blessings, you do not say that why you have picked me up, God. There are better people than me also. But why me? So therefore, if you become a bit spiritual and try to see things from many perspectives, then you remain humble. And I'm telling you, there is no substitute of humbleness. If you ask me how much you are grateful to your parents or the Almighty, I will say I'm eternally grateful to them because they have kept me completely, aligned to the ground. I'm very much grounded. My family is very much grounded. If you ask me tomorrow, Abhijit, I'm sending private jet. You come and meet Professor Mr. Donald Trump, President Trump. I have arranged a meeting with you. Out of nothing. Trust me, nothing will excite me. Okay, fine. That's fantastic if you can arrange. Okay, whether you are meeting President Trump or you are meeting the bean collector near my house, the attitude should remain the same. And that is what I try to practice along with my family. When I see the rubbish collector in the morning, I will tell him, good morning, how are you? Everything is fine, all good, family is good. I don't know them, in fact. I don't know. That will keep you grounded and that will keep you, provided if you think that we are one of those 3, 4, 5% people.
I totally agree, sir. Gratitude is the attitude. And that's very well said, sir. Sir, I am coming close to my agreed hour with you. And if you have any final thoughts, please, if you want to add something.
Well, I think a couple of things which everybody knows. There is nothing new. I am not a saint. I am a normal person. So there is nothing what you don't know, which I know. But I think that, if you aspire, you have to change your life's priority as you go along, as you progress, as you become more resourceful. Okay. Like I spent a lot of time and energy in helping the youngsters. And that may include anything and everything. That may include trying to give a job if possible, trying to introduce them to some good people, trying even to, give do a recommendation, reference so that they can get a job. If you can't do either, at least help them so that their careers can be shaped. So that attitude, and if you ask me what you get out of return, I get nothing. I get enormous pleasure because wherever I go, when I go, people come and tell me, "Do you know you did this to me?" I said, "What are you doing now?" "I'm a director in the board of Unilever." I said, "What?" He said, "Yes. You gave me the opportunity in Maruti. I have become today, you taught us, I have become today what you have taught us." I mean, this is, priceless. You can't tell me, okay, I'll pay you 10,000 pounds. I said, I don't need 10,000 pounds. So that kind of attitude, change your priorities, your thought process as you become older and older and older. And think of the, larger context, people who are not fortunate enough like us. That's important. Second important thing is that be grateful to your parents and to your family. Without family, we are nobody. Zero. I may be a billionaire, but if there is no family, with whom you are going to enjoy? When you go to a hotel, you can't go to a seven-star hotel and eat alone. You will say, I will go to a dhaba, I will go to a coffee shop, and I will eat there, but with my family. So be very grateful to the family. And my final thoughts will be grateful to the Almighty. You need not have to be religious, but be a bit spiritual, and that will bring enormous amount of happiness in your life. That's important.
Very well said, sir. Thank you. I think that concludes